Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and I thought I'd take you a little bit with me while I'm doing the last parts of getting my 60 page kits completely done before I go to the crop. And you know what, peeps? I'm gonna do it because I'm already at 41. I have 20-ish. I say ish because I still have maybe 8 that need stuff cut out. So I haven't done the journaling for that. So after I'm done this today, I'm going to cut the circles or the arrows or whatever I need for the rest of the page kits. And then I'm going to do the journaling. That's all happening today. But let's go through what we've done so far, okay? So we've added papers and embellishments. Then we cut out all the digital files, so that's going to save me so much time when I get there. We added washies and sketches. Then we added photos, so there's a photo or photos with all the page kits. We've added scrap words to almost all the kits. There's a few that I missed because I was like, I'm not going to need words in every single one. Enamel dots. I ran out of enamel dots. So I'm going to be bringing Nouveau drops with me, which I'm not too crazy about, but it is what it is. We added some grid paper in each of the kits. And then now we're at the journaling part and putting title on the wax paper. And one thing I forgot to say was add cardstock. We did that on step 3 with cutting the digital files. And then putting the title on the wax paper. Now what I do is I have some recipe cards. As you can tell, my journaling is all done. So when I'm going to take out kit 41, then I just go and look for kit 41. Now, someone asked, why don't you put the journaling card in here? And I said, oh, I'm used to it. That's why I've always done it this way. And then later on in the afternoon, I went and I was doing it, doing this. And then I'm like, oh, now I remember why. Is because I'm doing so many page kits and it's of the same trip. I want to make sure that I don't do the title twice. So let's say if I did something and I put Stanley Park, well, then the next page, I don't want to say Stanley Park. I want to say something else. So quickly, I can go through this and go, okay, yeah, I did that already. So let's choose another title. And it's just easy to look at it. Okay, so PK 41, so page kit 41. I already have the title for this because when I put the picture in, I remembered what we had said quite a few times on the trip. Thanks, Google. There's a few times that it sent us, down some paths that were like, oh my goodness. This time here was the very first, after the very first night we stayed at Harvest Host. It sent us down this gravel road and it doesn't look bad, but when you're pulling a trailer, there's a lot of little potholes. So the whole trailer was doing this the whole time, but it wasn't very long and it cut so much of the road. We were on the road that we needed to be on so quickly that, to get to the Harvest Host, we did, I can't even tell you how many turns, like turn right, go a kilometer, and then turn left, and da-da-da, and it was forever. It was a good 25 minutes of that. And this way, within 5 minutes, we were back on the road and we're like, why didn't it bring us there? Just make us turn left. Yes, we would have went back for 5 minutes, but it wasn't that far. So anyway, but there's quite a few other times that we were like, oh, thanks, Google. So what I have pulled, I guess I need this. What I have pulled for this, section or this, you know, time that I'm working on these page kits is I have some wax paper that I'm putting my titles on. I wouldn't suggest doing those more than the week of, because, you know, everything's going to stick to this, or I'm using a lot of my tiny letters. And I'm afraid that if this is not the best wax paper, I'm not loving it, but if it was longer than a few days, I think these would go off and be all over my page kit. I'm hoping it doesn't happen too much because it's only like 3 or 4 days. So I have my tiny letters, and I grabbed maybe 5 or 6 of thickers, different colors. And that's what I'm going to use. Like the last time I must have taken out 40 different alphas. And I was like, that totally wasn't worth it. You know, yes, it was nice to have different fonts and all this stuff, but oh, that was a lot. Okay, I don't know if I have an E. Yes. So we'll do the thanks with this color. And then I think I'd like, oh, I know what I can use. Uh-oh, I don't think I have any A's. No. Okay. So do I have, I don't even have a V that I can turn upside down. Oh, yes, I do, right here. Okay. So we'll do that. It's, you know, it's good to use things till you can't. Okay. So I think I'm going to do these big ones here. Okay. Because I really want Google to stand out. Okay. So a lot of times too, the reason I like this out, another reason I thought, let's say if I'm doing this and I just cannot think of a title, I'll leave it to the side, right? And I'll just keep going because I don't want to waste time. I got a lot of stuff to do to get ready before I leave. So I don't want to waste an hour. I don't know where my scissors went already. I just had them. I don't want to waste a bunch of time. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I'll put that off to the side, and then I'll keep going. And then if I think of a title, I can easily write it down, do this, and then I'll know which page kit it was supposed to go in. Okay, so now I have to do, let's do another title. And then I'll do the journaling for both at the same time. Okay, so here I want to put, I don't know, there was someone playing the guitar. Was it the guitar? I don't know what kind of instrument it was. Anyway, he was playing for money. And, you know, Mason was like, oh, do you have any change? I want to give him something. So, I want to do like giving heart. Is that the right color? I need to see the back of the, layout. And then I'm going to put you on fast forward, and I'll do maybe like, I don't know, maybe like a 10-minute. Oh, I'm not doing that one. This one's not cut apart. Nope. I'm not about this life right now. I got to take out my brother's Scan and Cut and cut a whole bunch out. I just got too many page kits to do. I normally don't mind, but, and actually the first little bit, I did do a whole bunch there. This is good. It's a little lighter. Will it show on that? Is it? Oh, I think it's on a white cardstock anyways. Yes. Okay, let's put this back. See, this doesn't stick on here very, very well. It's okay, but I'm like, oh, I don't think that would stay for like 2 months, right? But that's something you can do. You know, if you have everything else ready, then that's something you can do just a few days before and say, okay, I'm going to go through and give everything a title. And that saves so much time. One, when you're doing your page, you can say, hey, you know, this is how big my title is. So I need, you know, where can I put that if it's not a sketch, you know? Okay. And then what I'll do is, like I said, I'll do maybe a 5 or 10 minute voiceover. You can see how I'm doing the journaling, you know, for each. And I have to say, while I'm doing that, I normally will have an audiobook playing. But right now, my phone's going to be recording. So for this session, I won't have an audiobook. But you know what? Having peace and quiet too is also good, right? Because how many times do we actually have peace and quiet in our life? So it's okay to have some time to kind of, you know, just kind of reflect and think of what you're actually doing and just enjoying the process. So here we go. So as I'm doing the journaling for these pages and adding the photo and adding not the photos, the titles of each, I'll just tell you a few things that I was kind of thinking and doing while I was doing those. What I like about doing all the journaling at once, let's say if I did a few pages about Stanley Park, well, then I made sure that every single page that was for Stanley Park had a different title. And then, because I wasn't rushed, I was able to, I had my phone next to me and I would do research on the specific thing. For example, when I did the journaling for Leviathan, which is a ride at Canada's Wonderland, I was able to go and just figure out, you know, how high did it go? How fast did it go? You know, what degree did they drop us and all this stuff. So all this stuff is on the page. Like for example here, the mermaid, if you will, from Stanley Park, you know, what's the history on that? And I kind of, you know, Googled that and was able to do it all together. And I find that when I do my journaling like this, it's way more, easier because my brain is on that mode. Your creative side of the brain and your writing side of the brain are on two different sides of the brain. So when you're creating, and then you have to, you know, put on the brakes and do journaling, it's like jarring for me anyway. It's super jarring. So I find that I like doing this. And another reason I like doing the journaling at the same time as the title is as I'm doing the journaling, a lot of times a title will come to me and then I'll just, you know, do the title. Or sometimes the title is already there and then I just, you know, cut it out and then I have it already. So while I was doing this, I had my wax paper ready. I had my tiny letters. We have two different fonts. We have the typewriter and the Feeling Good. And I had my journaling cards. And I did about 20 or so every day that I did my journaling. So it took me about 3 days to get 60-page journaled. I don't find that's too bad considering that I was also doing the titles. And as you can tell, you know, some of the tiny letters that I had were some of the old ones before I started cutting them with my brother's Scan and Cut. And it didn't take me that long. I would just figure out the word and then I would glue it on the wax paper. I could have put just the letters in my bag just like that and worried about cutting them once I got there. But I thought they'll probably get lost or something. So I'd rather put them on the wax paper. I have to say that I'm glad that I'm just doing that just a few days before I go, because I don't know how long these titles are going to stay on that wax paper. Another thing that I did different than the last time I literally chose a thickers for each and every single different page kit. So when I came home, I had 48 to put away. I was like, that's just insane. Choose a few, a couple pinks, a couple black, a couple whites, and a few different other colors. Use your tiny letters a whole lot more. And then after the fact, you won't have 50 of them to put away, because that's just insane, or 60. Now today, as I'm recording this is the day that I'm leaving to go at the crop. So it's 9:30 in the morning. She's going to pick me up around noon. So I thought, hey, you have time to do the voiceover before you go. So my stuff is all packed. It's all by the door. My clothes are all packed. Everything's all packed. I thought this morning I'm going to get up. Actually, I was going to start cleaning last night, and we had, of course, there's always something that's going to happen, right? I went to put on a load of laundry because when I leave like that, I like my laundry all done. Did I need the laundry to go on my crop? No, I was able to pack without it. But that's not the point. I just like everything all washed up. So I go and the machine just like does a few things and then bleep, stops. And then it was like it was draining all the time, but there was no water in the washing machine. So I was like, no. So I'm like, it's going to burn the motor. So anyway, we unplugged it. Dave started, taking the mortar out. He cleaned that out, which needed some cleaning. But while he was doing that, I'm the researcher. So I researched everything. It said that it went on overflowed mode from the air that we were getting, and we were supposed to let it do that draining thing. So we did that. We plugged it back in. After much research from me, I wasn't going to take the first, do this and it's going to work. So we did that. Then we had to reset the washing machine. I found out how to do that. Reset the washing machine. And then, like on the front, I have a front loader, so it has like the rubber part. I pulled that. I cleaned all that out. That was full of hair and dog hair because it was underneath, so you didn't see it. So I cleaned that out with Javex and on the inside. And then I put one of those pucks that you put in to clean your washer out. I'd like to say that I do it once a month. I do it at least once every 2 months that I put one of those pucks in. I can tell you I'm going to do it every month now. And I'm going to pull that rubber and I'm going to clean it out because that was scary. A big appliance not working like that, it's a lot of money. You don't want it to break. And it's funny because I don't know what I was doing the other day, and I'm like, we've been in the house for 6 years. I hope our stuff doesn't start breaking down. I jinxed us. Within 2 days, my washing machine did that. So what I did at the same time, I bought one of those like gooseneck things that you can take the lint out of your dryer. And I'm like, you know what? We bought that 2 years ago. We haven't done it yet. So I hooked it up to my dryer and I did that. All that to say, last night I didn't have time to do a lot of the stuff I wanted to do because I spent my time researching and then cleaning. The good thing is I got to wash under my washer and under my dryer, so that felt good. So now it's like, when I come back, I'm going to do the kitchen. Because when you look, the surface, it's clean. Like my kitchen is clean. There's no dishes. But if you look closely to my cupboards, they need to be washed. And I want to clean on the inside. I want to take everything out. If I haven't used it in 6 years, you know, if I can't find a good way to store it, because some stuff you don't use all the time. Like we have a bloomin' onion thingamajig. I definitely don't want to get rid of that. But anyway, I'm getting things done. And like I said, while you're watching this, I am in the midst of trying to get those 60-page kits done. So wish me luck in the comments down below. And next week, I will let you know how many pages I got done. I have all my 60-page kits all journaled, all ready to go. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.